On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man.
Hey, Cat, what we doing?
Shit, when?
November. 23rd to the 27th.
It's up.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's up.
Talk to me. What we doing, Cat?
All right, what we got? Thursday?
Uh-huh.
Thursday we having camp.
Thursday, Cat.
We having camp right there in the hood, in the neighborhood where everybody at.
Right.
We're gonna give out some free stuff. We're gonna promote the cookout.
Right.
It's going down.
Right.
And after that, we're gonna do General Hyman's class.
Uh-huh.
You know he gonna drop it heavy.
Right.
Then we're gonna do Cross the Line.
Uh-huh.
And then we're gonna have game night.
Yeah.
Bring your ducats.
Bring the bread.
We taking it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the pool table in there.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have the games, the Madden tournament.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna be rolling dice.
Uh-huh.
It's going down.
Right.
Then what we got after that? Friday. Friday. We're going to kill what we eat.
Right.
And it's heavy because of the times that we living in.
Mm-hmm.
We can't depend on the grocery stores. So we're gonna go and kill it. We're going to the slaughterhouse. We're gonna kill it ourselves. We're gonna strip it.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't kill it, we don't eat it. We're not buying nothing from the store for this cookout.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's deep.
That's heavy.
We're doing that. We're gonna bring it back to the school, wash it up,
Uh-huh.
and then give it to the sisters. And they're gonna drop it in the marinade and season it up. That's Friday. That's just all day preparation.
Eat what you
Brotherhood.
kill.
Eat what you kill. Put
That's
your
heavy.
hands on it.
Mm-hmm.
We plucking it, we cutting it, we dehydrating it, we doing all that. Saturday, come on, Commander Junior Hunter's having a lecture.
The lecture.
And how you losing your man to video games and pornography.
That's
Before
crazy.
World War III, that's deep.
Right.
He telling you so focused on virtual reality, you missing out on reality.
Reality. That's
crazy. So we gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
And we gonna have a brunch. You know, the sisters, they gonna drop it heavy in the brunch.
Right.
And both of it, Friday and Saturday, you know, the nightlife in Houston gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's that holiday that's gonna be going on.
Absolutely.
So everybody gonna be home.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gonna be in the city.
Right.
It's going down. And then Sunday, got the cookout. The cookout is gonna be amazing. We're gonna have Haitian food, Jamaican food, Judite food, and Isupk food.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do it like we do it.
Right.
Big.
Yeah,
You know what
last year
I'm
had these tacos all dipped in some juice.
It's called Video.
Video.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of that.
Y'all gonna have them juicy tacos?
The dip juice tacos.
Those sound crazy.
Oh yeah, man. Y'all come on out and enjoy yourself.
Uh-huh. Those sound crazy.
Damn right.
Isupk Houston.
Real talk. Y'all come out, man. Shalom.
Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, back and still, said they want my life, I ain't worried.
Yeah. On 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, up to solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not self. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin on kindness. I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the field like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like we running, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till that do his part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, find in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man. Circle tight, yeah, back and still. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully it on me, know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking. I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust. Now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got chopper stash in that attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock until I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See, I'm throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He's nice, but he don't show the skills how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got him made, circle tight, yeah, back and still. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real.
Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the Commanding General Yohana. This is Isupk Tuesday Brotherhood class. Brotherhood and sisterhood is a weapon. Brotherhood and sisterhood is what we are going to lean on to rise up out of the conditions that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are in. We are in such horrible conditions that we love the traditions of men. We love the traditions of our oppressors. We don't understand our culture. And since we don't understand our culture, what do? We partake in their cultures. We partake in their philosophies. We partake in their ways, in their structures, all right, in their institutions. And we need to come back home, come back to 1 West, come back to the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under the Commanding General Yohana. Come back to the truth. Come back to who you are, all right? We have been lost for so long. We have been destroyed for so long that we don't have no clue of who we are. If you ask most people what they're going to be doing in a couple of days, they're going to tell you they're going to be celebrating Thanksgiving. All right. And they believe that it was about some things. They know some horrible things might have happened to the natives, but they believe that day of Thanksgiving was just a great day. It was so peaceful, and they came together and they had corn. All right. And they had turkey and they had pork and they had all this manner of nonsense. All right. Well, tonight we're going to get the real history on Thanksgiving because we have not been taught. We have not been taught properly. We have not been taught the correct stories. We have been taught lies. That's coming up in the school systems. They have taught us lies. They have made everything like a Disney story when it's not like a Disney story at all. Our people were unalived. All right. Our people were destroyed. And since our people are destroyed, we don't know anything. Let's get that real quick. Let's get Hosea 4 and 6. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And let me go and get that. You can read it when you got a Yahweh.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
The Lord said, my people. Hold on. Let me stop right there. It says, my people, the Lord's people, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. That's why we don't have the knowledge of the Most High. But we do have the knowledge of Thanksgiving. All right? We don't have the knowledge that the Lord had set out there for us. So we only know the knowledge that our oppressor gives us. And our oppressor says that this is a great day to celebrate. This is a day you could come together with your family. Y'all can all come together in fellowship. And they think that it is blessed by the Most High. But the Bible says that my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because we don't know who we are and we don't know our own customs. We don't know our own traditions. Continue reading.
Khan. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. that thou shalt be no priest to me.
And see, and we're not no priests to the Most High, right? That's why we have every Christian church on every corner about to celebrate this all through our community. You're about to eat a whole bunch of things that are unlawful to the Lord, and you know what they're going to call it? They're going to call it soul food. They're going to call it comfort food, when it's actually things that destroy you, things that were never meant to be put in your body. But we're going to put them in our body on that day, and we're going to give thanks to the Most High for this ham, for this honey glazed ham, Yaquab, that he so eloquently delivered on our plate. We're going to praise him all over. All right, we're going to stand in a circle and we're going to say a prayer. We're going to hold hands and bow our head in prayer over this feast that is not a feast of the Lord. This is not a day of the Lord. This is not a high holy day. This is not a holy convocation. This is not nothing this doesn't have anything to do with our culture. Okay? Continue reading.
Come on. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
See, and we've forgotten the laws of God. We've forgotten to be a separate people. We've forgotten to keep to our customs. We've forgotten to hearken diligently into the voice of the Lord thy God. So our children were forgetting, our father's children, our grandfather's children. Because we all grew up celebrating what? Thanksgiving. I grew up, my father grew up, his father grew up, his father grew up. Doing the same traditions, doing the traditions of men, and not the traditions of the Most High, not the customs of the Most High. And that's why us as children, we are forgotten. We're forgotten because we ain't coming up in the truth. We're coming up in these lies. We're coming up in hypocrisy. Okay? And that's because we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And being destroyed is not a good thing. Being destroyed is horrible. That means your condition, our condition in life here is horrible under our oppressor. All right? And then being destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Knowledge is power. Ain't that what they say? They let you know knowledge is power. If you're smarter than everybody, then you can control more, right? Because you have the knowledge, you have the understanding. The so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We have the knowledge of Christianity. We have the knowledge of Islam. All right? We have the knowledge of Egyptology. We need to get the knowledge of the Most High, the knowledge of the Lord thy God, and follow these laws, these statutes, and commandments, and rise up out of these conditions, rise up out of this hell that we are in. All right? We have been positioned perfectly. It's strategic. But everything they do is strategic. It's not by accident. And because we didn't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God, that's why we are suffering in these conditions that we are in. And we're being destroyed for a lack of knowledge, and we are trying to pray and bless the food that the Lord doesn't even want you to consume. He doesn't even want you to partake in these things. But we're partaking in them, and we're thinking this is of the Lord. We think the Lord blessed us with that turkey, with them yams, with that ham, with them patties pies, all right, with them greens, with all the pork in it. The Lord didn't bless you this day. You think this is the day of the Lord. The Lord, he doesn't respect. Okay, he doesn't respect this day that we call Thanksgiving. He doesn't respect your union with your family, getting together and eating cranberry sauce and dressing or stuffing or whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, let me get Amos 5:21, and Yaganan, you go ahead. Yaganan, you say what you're gonna say first.
Yeah, I just had a question. Well, we know Thanksgiving coming up again, and I'm asking you a question. Why do Christians think that you can just pray over something and it be just holy and clean?
Yeah, they think that because when Peter got the vision and it said, "Call nothing unclean that I made clean," All right. They believe that's talking about pork. All right. When it was talking about the men, it was talking about, because Judah, they didn't want the northern kingdom able to come back into the fold. They wanted it all for themselves. Okay. They didn't want the lost tribes to be back. All right. And another reason they think that is because of the one with the washing of the hands. Right. It's not what goes in your mouth, but what comes out that makes you unclean. So that means you can eat anything. Go get an armadillo. You can eat anything. Go eat a horse. Go eat Mr. Ed. And that's what they do. They make it to where to where it's just about serving the flesh. That's what Christianity is. Christianity makes it so that you're just serving your flesh and nothing else, because everything is about your feelings. God works according to how you feel, no matter if you're right or wrong. Because what we say, not my Jesus, right? They'll say that. You can be absolutely wrong, but because of what you feel, you believe God works on your feelings, but he absolutely doesn't. That's why when you say this, you say, well, I'm not celebrating it for that. I'm celebrating it for this. Well, I understand what you're saying, but I feel that Thanksgiving is a family and fellowship. And it's just us getting together and having a good time and just appreciating this day that the Lord gives us. Well, let's see what the Bible says. Go ahead and read that. True.
Come on. This is the book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days.
I love your feast days.
I despise your feast days.
I'm glad that you blessed me in your feast day.
I despise your feast days.
The Lord says, I despise your feast days. What are your feast days? Your feast days are everything that is not a part of what the Lord has established as a holy convocation. These feast days are your oppressors' feast days. And we are holding it at such high esteem that you will look down on the Passover. Are y'all going where? Y'all going all the way to North Carolina? But you'll go to North Carolina for Christmas, for Thanksgiving. You'll go to New York to Times Square to watch the ball drop on New Year's. Right? You'll take your girl to damn Paris or Vegas or something for Valentine's Day. You're willing to do all this, but you're going to look down on the Passover. You're going to look down on Hanukkah. You're going to look down on the Feast of Purim. You're going to look down on all of our feast days, but you're going to hold up all of our oppressors' feast days because we have been made to believe that he is right. They gave us that image of Caesar Borgia, and with that image of Caesar Borgia, he has been made to make your oppressor look like a god. We look at all of them like they're in the image of God, but they are not. And the Lord does not respect their feast days. He doesn't respect you celebrating feast days. Go ahead, read that again from the top.
Come on. Verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not smell in solemn assemblies.
So you up there cooking, you praying over this food. The Lord is not smelling your food and saying, "Oh, this is wonderful to me." You think your damn turkey and your honey ham, you think that compares to the unleavened bread and the lamb at the Passover? You think that's the same thing? One, the Lord respects. The other, the Lord rejects. Right? You can't just be out here praying over this meal and thinking that it makes it of the Lord. And a Christian will believe that the Lord blessed this because they just prayed over it for 30 minutes. Okay? Let me see if there's anything else on that one. Yeah, go ahead and read 22.
Come on. Verse 22. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
I will what?
Neither I will not accept them.
See, that's what we doing. We offering that to the Lord, right? Because you put all this food on the table, you come and you hold hands together, and what do? You pray over this. Thank you, Lord, for getting us together and blessing us with this food, with this nourishment to our temple. Okay? And the Lord is saying, I do not accept this. I don't accept your meat offering. What do you think that turkey is? What do you think that ham is? What do you think your roast or whatever the hell you do for this for your oppressor's holiday? Those are offerings. You are offering them up to somebody. It is not the Most High. He will not accept it. Continue.
Come on. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
And he don't want your peace offering. And how do we know that there's no peace offering? How you know there's no peace during this time? Go ahead, Trooper.
Because of all the wars that's going on in the world right now.
All the wars, but just I'm gonna make it simpler. Yagana, you want to give it a stab? Why is there no peace at Thanksgiving?
Why is there no peace right now, Adawan? Is that the question?
No, why is there no peace at Thanksgiving? Like, it says right here, I will not regard your peace offerings of your fat beasts. Like all the families coming together. We supposed to be coming together to have a good time, right? But why is there no peace there?
Because the Most High, Adawan, is not with that feast day, that sacrifice, that offering.
Exactly. So what's going to happen there? You know what's going to happen? Aunt Cheryl doesn't like Aunt Shelly. Uncle Ray can't stand Uncle Danny. Little Jimmy hate little Pookie. Okay, so you there with a whole bunch of family members you can't damn stand, and there's always an altercation. It's always an altercation at these times. So with these altercations happening, you didn't even get to really enjoy your day. You were supposed to come together for family, and you came together for fighting and frustration. Yeah, you ever watch Soul Food? All right, Yacob, I ain't asking you. I mean, I don't know if you was born yet when Soul Food came out, but that movie, they get together all the time for their Sunday dinner, and they couldn't stand each other. Okay, there was always some problems going on. That's because the Lord does not respect your feast days. He does not accept your peace offering, and we got to understand that. We need to be. I'll get that later. Before we get in this article, I need one more scripture. Let me get Colossians 2:8.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
See, that's what's happened with us. Hold on, that's what happened to us, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We were spoiled through philosophy. Through Christianity, we're spoiled because we don't have to do anything. All right? We don't have to do anything but whatever the hell we feel. Because it's about how you feel, right? And that's through vain deceit. Through vain deceit, we celebrate Thanksgiving and we think it's actually something that is a good thing. We celebrate Christmas because we think it's a good thing, all right? Because of the traditions that we are continuing. Continue.
It's like it, sir.
After the traditions of men.
Like I'm lagging. After the rudiments of the world and not after Christ.
You see? So after these traditions of men is what we are doing all this stuff after the tradition of men and not after the tradition of the Most High. We are of the rudiments of the world. We take on the ways of the world, the structure of the world. All right. We move with the wind. All right. It says, and not after Christ. Christ doesn't move with the wind. Christ moves with the Most High. That's what we have to do. We have to be aligned. We have to be aligned with the Most High. Drop down to 20.
Con. Let's book Colossians chapter 2, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, if ye be dead with Christ from the rudiments of the world, why as thou living in the world are ye subject to ordinances?
All right. So why are we doing the ordinances of why are we celebrating the Thanksgiving? We're not a part of this world, like Christ said. Be from this world, not of this world. All right. Yeah. We from here, but we are not of this. So we're not subjected to those ordinances. So I don't have to celebrate this. I don't have to take the customs that you say that I have to that you want me to partake in. I don't have to, because those are not my customs. Those are not my ways. Those are not my traditions. So since those are none of those things, I don't have to do any of these things. I'm not subjected to the ordinances of this world. I'm subjected to the ordinances of the Most High, of His law, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, Officer Yagana.
Yeah, I don't want the word rudiment. I'm gonna break it down a little bit to some of the people that might not be able to understand. I'm gonna give an example.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She taught the girls the rudiments of reading and writing.
Mm-hmm. You see, they teaching you the rudiments. They're teaching you the nature. They're teaching you the text. Like when a teacher takes you and shows you how to read and write and all that, that is the rudiments of it. We are dead from the rudiments of this world. We are dead from what we were taught in this world. What we are taught in this lifestyle. What we are taught through their traditions, through their customs, through their philosophies, through their ways. Now we don't have to go by the ways of our oppressors, because we know and we understand completely and 100% of who we are. And since we know who we are, we can live who we are. We can live our tradition out. And that's what we do here in Israelite School at UPK. We're not going to go celebrate Thanksgiving. We're not going to Big Mama's house and getting no yams. Go get them greens and macaroni. We're not doing none of that. Okay? It's going to be a regular day for us. All right? Continue reading.
Con. Touch not, taste not, handle not, which all are to perish.
No, that's it. No, that's it. That's it. Hold on, just 21 right now. It says, touch not, taste not, handle not, do not partake. I'm not going to get a plate. I'm not going to hang out. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to stay away because I'm going to touch not. I'm going to taste not. I'm going to handle not. Go ahead.
Con. Which are all to perish with the using after the commandments and doctrines of men.
You see, when you're following the commandments and the doctrine of men, the Most High isn't behind it. And if the Most High isn't behind it, then you don't have no hedge. You don't have no protection. And that's why you perish with the using. Okay? You taking in all these unlawful foods. You perish. You out here going out to party on these days that are not holy convocations, right? And something can happen to you while you out and about. You out at the club and you get unalived. All right? That's why we gotta stop, because we perish with the using of this. Just the philosophy alone, just your mind. Just your spirit. Your spirit just is on the wrong path. That's perishing as well. Not knowing who you are. You are You were what do they say? Spiritually unalived. Okay. All right, we're going to drop that. Yeah, and I'm gonna get give me that real quick. Deuteronomy 7:6. Trooper Uriah, you can get it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Art and holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So the Lord said, "For thou art a holy people." Holy, meaning separate. Goes back to the word kodash, meaning separate. Okay, we are a separate people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee, chosen you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, to be a special people unto himself, above all the people on the face of the earth. That's what we're supposed to be. We're not supposed to be under these other nations, celebrating their customs, taking on their traditions, celebrating their Thanksgiving. They're thankful because they unalived every damn body and conquered a whole land. That's why they're thankful. But why are you thankful that they did it to you and your people? You should ask yourself that.
That's right.
Why you giving thanks? Why you giving reverence? Wonder what happened to your people. Wonder why you thankful that they conquered you. We shouldn't be thankful for that. To us it should be despicable and detestable, and we should be disgusted by it, by the thought of celebrating something that is the unaliving of us. And that's what we do. All these things that we celebrate, they're at our detriment. It's something bad that happened to our people that they celebrate. And we are so lost and confused, thinking that everybody's the same, thinking that everybody's supposed to be equal. Then we think we all just have the same shot. We're all just one people. We're all equal when we're not. You're conquered and they're the conquerors. Okay? And we are supposed to be above people on the face of the earth. All right? Not under, not next to, but above. That was the Lord's vision. But we didn't want to follow the laws, the statutes, and commandments. All right, we're going to get into this article. Somebody pull up the 1637, the Pequot Massacre. All right. And one of the troopers, whoever got it, y'all can read it. Want to read this one, want to read the other one. Of the ones I text y'all earlier.
It's like I said, let me start from the title.
Yes.
1637, Pequot Massacre. The real story of the annual U.S. Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast. And that did happen once.
How many times did it happen?
Once.
It happened once. It happened once. Why? Because of the mass unaliving, because of the breaking of the treaties, because of destroying every damn thing. Continue reading.
The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuxix.
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 Patuxix. Yes. Patuxent or something,
Put-
yeah, something like that. Close
Patuxet
enough, brother. Close enough, brother.
Indians bound for slavery.
Damn.
They
See,
left.
damn, hold on. You see, it says the story begins in 1614. All right. These English explorers, they were sailing home with a ship full of slaves. That's what they come for. They come to conquer. They come to destroy. They come to tell you that everything you're doing is wrong and everything they're doing is right. And all they want to do is give you Christianity and make you better, make you a better, give you their customs. Well, we don't need their customs. This is what happens anytime we're around them. We get destroyed. Continue reading.
Comic-Con. They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxet Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of the first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags.
You see, so this is heavy because it said that the smallpox, they left behind the smallpox were virtually wiped out all those who had escaped. It said by the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living, and that's Squanto. You see, and Squanto, he taught them how to grow corn and how to fish. All right, he negotiated the peace treaty. He knew the language because he had survived the slavery there. Because he was taken as a young boy there. He grew up, and they used him. They said, "Oh, you know our ways and our customs, and you're going to help us make these treaties, make this connection." All right, continue reading.
Come. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by the boat load. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be to be in the public domain.
See, right there. Hold on, stop right there. They said because there's no fences, they consider it to be public domain. But what do? They build and they separated and they created all these states. And these states don't have fences, but they don't consider it public domain. All right. All they wanted to do was conquer. They wanted to take this land and make it theirs. And they knew they was going to have to destroy a people. All right. And they said, well, there ain't no fences around this land, so it's public domain. We're going to come here. We're going to, anybody who was in this land, we're going to remove them from it. And it is going to be ours. Why ain't it still public domain? They owned it. And they didn't put no fences around it. And they don't consider it public domain right now. Go ahead, continue reading.
Con.
Hold on, Salakia, before you start. Yagana, if you want to say something, just say Salakia, because I ain't got the screen up where I can see you because I'm in the article. So if you ever want to say something, just say Salakia and I'll get you in there.
Come.
All right, go ahead, Trooper Yaqua.
Con. Joined by other British settlers, they seized land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. But for Pequot Nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought.
You see, because not everybody was with this. Some stood and said, "No, Squanto, we don't respect the negotiations and the agreed peace that you set with these settlers, okay, with these British settlers. All they're doing is coming to capture land. I mean, to seize land and capture strong young natives. They wanted them for slaves only. It says for slaves, and the rest we're gonna unalive. The rest we don't need them. All right. So that's why the Pequot Nation, they was like, no, we don't agree to what Squanto over here talking about. Forget what he negotiated. We're going to fight. And that's why it was one of the bloodiest wars ever. Because they stood for something. That's how our Seminole Indian brothers was, the tribe of Reuben. They were strong. They were warriors. They were fighters. Okay? Continue reading.
Khan. In 1637, near present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children in the Pequot tribe had gathered for an annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive. The next day, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered.
Why do they consider it a day of Thanksgiving?
Because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered.
So while you're eating your turkey and you give it Thanksgiving and you say you don't celebrate it because of this is where it comes from. It comes from a day declared Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children have been murdered. That's why we say this is wicked. That's why the Lord hates and despises your feast days. That's why the Lord doesn't respect it when you're trying to pray reverence to this day and you want to give reverence to the Lord and you want to pray. This is why he hates your solemn assemblies. Your assemblies. You don't want to smell it. You don't want to enjoy that savory, the smell going up there. It does absolutely nothing but disgust him, because for this day, 700 of his men, women, and children of the Lord's people were unalived. And they say that's a day of Thanksgiving. That's what they declare Thanksgiving. They're thankful. That's what they're thankful for. They're thankful for your destruction, for your unaliving. Okay? It says, let me go back up here. It says in the what was the Green Corn Festival, said in the pre-dawn hours the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries, all right, who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death. That's what happened to us. That's what happened. Then when they compass around the house, when they surround the house, and those who come out, when they were ordered to, they were shot or clubbed. And the terrified women and children who was in the house, our babies, were burned alive. Your enemy, we'll get that later. Continue reading.
Khan. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists
they were what?
Cheered by their victory.
They were happy by their victory. By the unaliving of 700 people, it made them happy. It made them cheerful. They were full of glee by their victory. It wasn't a damn war. You surrounded them. And then as they came out, you clubbed or shot them. Then you burned the women and children. To them, that brings them glee. That makes them cheerful. And to them, that's a victory. Anytime the unaliving of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's a victory to our oppressor. Continue reading.
Khan. The brave
just the what?
The brave colonists.
They called them brave. Hold on.
It's like
they called them brave. What is brave about that? What's brave about that, Yaganan? Surrounded. So you surrounding the house, they come out. You already got an upper hand on them. You just shoot or club them, and then you burn the women and children alive. What is brave about that? That's what they call brave. That's not warfare. You didn't say meet me right here and we gonna go toe to toe, head to head. You snuck up on them in the wee hours. This is what your oppressor calls brave. You think about that when you looking at him with such glee and love and admiration, and sitting down having a Thanksgiving prayer and holding hands with him while y'all all in this house eating this damn turkey and this ham. You remember that. Continue reading.
Khan. And there,
read that from the top. You can read that from the top. Cheered by their victory. Go ahead.
Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children, over 14, were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible.
You see that? That's what they wanted to do. And they paid, just like they do now. What do? They pay our own people. They pay our religious leaders to destroy us. Their MO has always been the same. Okay? Their MO has always been the damn same. And it says as much as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Yeah, New England is known for more than just Tom Brady and the damn Patriots, right? It said bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Means they're going to pay our own people to do what? To destroy and unalive our own people. And the more you could take out, the bigger your paycheck gonna be. They always use us to destroy us. And we always got some ignorant Uncle Tom coons that's going to jump up and do the bidding. They're going to do it for them. Continue reading, Yaquab.
Khan. Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot is what is now Stamford, Connecticut. The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate the victory over heathen savages. During the feasting,
so this is another day of Thanksgiving. Hold on. This is another day of Thanksgiving. You see, they're going to go day for day, unaliving you, destroying you, unaliving our women, our men, women, and children, right? And to them, every time it's a victory. Every time they are cheerful and gleeful. This is what Thanksgiving is about. This is what they're thankful for. They're thankful for you perishing. They're thankful for your destruction. They're thankful for your unaliving. And it's still today. That's why when something happens to us today, you see, they'll turn it around and make it our fault. Because to them, they're thankful that one more is gone. That's what's important to them. Continue reading.
Khan. During the feasting, the hacked heads of natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Plymouth.
It's like Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 hours.
All right, I got to break this down because this is heavy. All right. It says to celebrate the victory over the heathen savages during the feasting. So while they're eating and being so thankful, it says the hacked off heads of the natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. And in Northern Kingdom, we love the hell out of soccer, right? This is where traditions come from. We love our unalivings. We love the things that were destructive for us. We take that and we wear it as a badge of honor now. But our heads were out there being kicked around like soccer balls. It said the hacked off heads were being kicked around like soccer balls. They're out there punting your head, booting it while they're feasting, while they're eating. And you telling me you're going to sit down here in 2 days and put some damn turkey in your mouth? You have absolutely no heart, no compassion, or no love for your people. You are selfish and wicked and destructive to the nation because you have absolutely no damn care or respect for the way these traditions came. And I tell people about this all the time. I was telling them at the slave. And they just say, well, I'm not getting together for that. Tell that to the brother who's getting his head kicked around. Tell that to this chief who was beheaded and his head was impaled on a pole where it remained for 24 years. Do you know what that does? What does that do to your community? What does that do to your nation to see your chief's head up there impaled for 24 years? You growing up. So say you were 10 years old when it happened. And then 24 years passed. Now you 34 and that head is still up there. Do you think you're gonna have any fight in you? You think you're gonna be ready for war? What are you gonna do when you see that? You're going to think, I don't want to end up like that. That was the chief. I'm just me. I'm just little old me. What can I do? Well, we're here to tell you. We're here to tell you you can fight. We're here to tell you you don't have to take on their customs and their ways. And if your head is impaled on a pole for 24 years, so be it. Make your head impaled for fighting against that. Make your head impaled for following the law, statutes, and commandments. Get your head impaled for that. That's worth it being impaled. Go ahead, Officer Yaganan.
Yeah, I don't want. That's an old war tactic or whatever. When you take the leader, take the chief, or take the strongest person and unalive them and string them up or hang them up or whatever they do, and let the other people see, it kills their spirit. And they just pretty much give up. Say, figure they ain't got no hope.
Yeah, I'm right. Give him a hand. And that's right. We don't have no. And they use that for what? They use that back in slavery for breaking of the buck as well, right? They take the strongest one out there, they tie 2 horses to them, they rip them apart. So the woman's naturally going to teach her son not to go against the grain because she don't want that to happen to her son. She loves him. And then she's going to tell the daughter, well, they can't save you because this is what can happen to them. See, this is the things that we got to understand. And since we don't understand this, we go around celebrating this day like it's just so much glory, like it's just such a great time. But we don't understand what happened. Continue reading.
Khan. The killings became more and more frenzied. The days of Thanksgiving feast being held after each successful massacre. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside in the stead of celebrating each and every massacre.
This
Later,
was the first. Hold on. This was their first president, right? This is the one that they love so much. Read that again from the top. The killing frenzy.
Khan. The killings became more and more frenzied. The days of Thanksgiving feast being held after each successful massacre.
So after each successful massacre, they had this day until George Washington said what? Continue reading.
George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside, and instead of celebrating each and every massacre.
You see that? So he said, we're going to set this day aside. That's what Thanksgiving is. It is the successful massacre of your people. They give thanks every time they successfully massacre so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We got to stop taking these days and trying to make them our own, trying to make them our customs, trying to make them our ways, because this is because of the destruction and our people being destroyed. Our people being unalive, our people being stripped from their homes, stripped from their ways, stripped from what they know, just to be given something so wicked. And now they make you celebrate this every damn year. But they're thankful for your unaliving. And now you go to Big Mama's table and you're going to sit and pray and be thankful for your unaliving. Continue reading.
It's like it, sir. Can you see me?
I can now.
All right. Daughter. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota.
So as he sending them to the Seahawks to go march on them, to go unalive them, he declares this is going to be a legal national holiday right here in America. Y'all love Abraham Lincoln, right? He freed the slaves, right? Y'all didn't know why he freed the slaves. He didn't free it for our benefit. Okay, continue reading. I want to get through this.
On the same day, I was like, this story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feelings as associated with it as the one where the Indians and Pilgrims are all sitting down together at the big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. Next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families. They also took time out to say thank you to Creator of all their blessings.
So as they unaliving you, they're thanking the Most High. They're thanking the Most High, saying, "Oh, our God has brought us many victories, and we are thankful." Continue reading.
Come. This is particularly difficult this is a typically difficult introduction to write. I have been a public schools teacher for 12 years, and I am also a historian and have written several books on American and Native American history. I also just happen to be
Hey, all right, hold on. We gonna drop that because we don't need that. This is just him talking about. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second there. Yeah, we gonna drop it there because we got enough of that, and this is introduction for teachers. More about Thanksgiving. No, we got what we needed out of that. So let me go ahead and close that one out. Let's get a couple scriptures real quick, before we get to the next one. Let me get Psalms 83. And let me share my screen and all that. Uh, 83, and we just gonna probably start at 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1. A song of psalm, or it's like a song of psalm a song or psalm or asaph. Keep not thou silent, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
They're saying the Most High is saying, keep not that silence. Don't be still. Help us in this time of need. Don't be silent. We need you. All right, continue.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult
A tumult.
and
A tumult.
tumult, and they hate, so like it, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
You see, your oppressor, he hates you. And he makes a tumult. He makes a pit for you. He makes traps. He makes snares. All right. He does all kind of things because he hates you. And him hating you, he has lifted up his head. He has lifted up his head with his pride because he thinks he's better than you. Continue.
Come on. So like it. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have taken crafty counsel. They are crafty. Like when it says the serpent is the most subtle beast in the field, meaning he's crafty. This beast takes crafty counsel against our people. How do they take crafty counsel? Because they make it, they structure it, right? They're going to structure it and prepare it before they bring it before you. That's why we singing Ski You and all these songs. We love that, right? Ski You. That's a little ratchet little thought pocket. And ski you. That's all I hear the damn kids saying. They training my daughters. That song come on my daughter. Ski you. All the time. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, it's like I had one. Like even on the job site, a lot of my coworkers I work with that's not in the truth. Isupk and Judah and Ephraim and I'll be like, well, can we do what our oppressors do? They're like, well, no, we can't. I said, well, do you vote? They're like, well, yeah, I vote. I said, well, on this job site, we can't do what they do. But you think you're going to go and vote them out of power? When you voting, when you go and casting your vote, voting for them, you think they're going to do anything different? You think they're going to save you? And they look at me crazy like, well, I never thought about that. So, we become so programmed. That's our crafty counsel. We brainwash. We programmed.
Yeah, we programmed. You're damn right. You are absolutely right. We are programmed. We think our damn vote matters. We don't even know who's on the damn ballot. Okay? You don't know that. You don't know these people. But you know to vote for that BET top 10. And who we voting? Sexy Red. Ski you. Okay? That's what we voting for. We got to get up out of that. All right? They push that in front of us. Now all our women think it's cool to go out there and just do whatever. Or young men think it's cool to just go out there and do whatever. All right? They set this stuff up strategically that we look up to what? We look up to the criminals. We don't look up to the people trying to really fix so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians here in the Israelite school of UPK. We look up to little Ray Ray because he got a Cadillac. And he got a Cadillac from slanging dope. But we don't see the bad. We don't, we don't see that you got to have that lawyer money. We don't see that his head is going to be on his damn windshield in 3 months because of a bad deal gone wrong. They consult against us. And when they consult, they come together and they say, how can we destroy them further? Oh, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Let's make them thankful for their own unaliving. 4th of July. Let's make them thankful for being over here, traveling over here under those boats in those horrible conditions. Yeah. I think we'll do that. Continue reading.
Come on. They have, it's like in verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
You see, The name of Israel is no more in remembrance. We don't know who we are. We're African American. We're Puerto Rican. We're Mexican. We're Jamaican. We're Dominican. We're Haitian. We're Panamanian. They cut us off from being a nation. And they gave you a byword and a proverb. That's why the name of Israel is no more in remembrance. You don't know that you're Ephraim. You don't know that you're Judah. You don't know that you are a part of these 12 tribes. You don't have no understanding of that. Because they said we're going to cut them off so the name be no more in remembrance. Since you don't remember your name no more, you don't remember what the real Thanksgiving is about. Because you don't have no remembrance. That's why you need to come here in the truth in the Israelite School of UPK and get understanding. Learn who you are. Know what these days are about. Know what the hell you celebrate. Okay? You say, oh, I don't celebrate it for that. You don't know because you don't even know what you're celebrating. You don't know what it is. All right? Continue reading.
Khan. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Meaning under one consent, they coming together. Everybody's coming together under Esau, and they all following suit. They all getting a piece. Esau is doing overall oppression. Then he'll give this nation the gas station in your neighborhood. He'll give this nation the liquor store in your neighborhood. He'll give this nation the restaurant in your neighborhood. All right, and they're under one consent, and they're taking all the money that they're making and they're bringing it to their communities. They're not invested it in you, but we invest everything into them. Continue reading.
Khan. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites.
What?
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom, your so-called your oppressor. That's who that is. That's Edom. The so-called, that's your oppressor. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites, all them over here in the so-called Middle East of Moab. All right, the ones of Asian descent. Continue.
And the Hagaranians.
The Hagaranes.
The Hagaranes.
Of Hamitic descent. Continue.
Verse 7. Gebal and Ammon and Amalek.
And Amalek, that's the one who says they are Jews but are not. Continue.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asor also is joined with them. They have Hopen, the children of Lot. Salah.
You see, and we got to understand, man, that what's happened to us, it's because they come together. It's because they're confederates. It's because they have a actual plan. Every time they have a plan to destroy us. Okay, and that's what they do. And they're out here having us celebrate this Thanksgiving, and they think they are, exempt from these crimes that they have committed. Okay, let's get a Zechariah 11:5. Hey, Trooper Uriah, you get that for me. Zechariah 11:5.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
You see, that's what they did when they took out 700 of our men, women, and children and declared it a day of Thanksgiving. When after every successful massacre, they declared it a day of Thanksgiving. Right? Our possessors slayed us, and they held themselves not guilty. Continue.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not.
And our shepherds don't pity us because our shepherds do not step out on the limb. They do not protect us. And they say, it says, and when they, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord. I am rich. All right. It's because they're saying that because they're thinking like they, the Lord is on my side. The Lord is on our side because we are getting rich by selling them, by possessing them, by slaying them. And we're not going to hold ourselves guilty, even though they are guilty of crimes that go back forever. Okay? Let me get Ezekiel 35. Ezekiel 35 and 5.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
You see, that's what they have for us. They have a perpetual hatred. It's an everlasting hatred. It's a never-ending hatred. And with that never-ending hatred, they destroy us. Okay? They destroy us. They unalive us. They make life a living hell. Continue reading.
Verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sitteth thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
Good night. We got to understand, man. We got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got to be under the ways of the Most High. Trooper Yaqua, give me Job 9 and 24.
Come on.
And Trooper Uriah, pull up that other article that I had sent over. The Treaty Removal Act. You can go ahead and read it, Trooper Yaqua.
Come on. It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
The earth is given into the hand. Hold on. The earth is given up into the hand of the wicked. That's why I say, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. The earth is in mourning because the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why they got all kind of abominable things going on all over the world. That's why the world is in such influx. All right, it's such destruction. Okay, continue.
Come on. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Covered up the faces of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All right, if you read the what is that book? The Russian icons of Constantinople, something like that. It shows where they're actually painting the black faces white. So they cover up the faces of the judge thereof. They turn Christ into Caesar Borgia when he is nothing of like that. All right, continue.
Come on. It's like, if not, where and who is he?
And if the earth ain't given into the hands of the wicked, then where is the wicked? If it's not them, then where and who is he? Okay? It ain't us. It ain't the humble and the meek like us. Okay? Stop sharing that. Share my screen. Get this other article. All right, Trooper Uriah, you can read that when you got it.
I want what website is that coming from? Wikipedia or?
No, that's the one I texted to you earlier.
I know, but I'm kind of doing the video on the phone, so I can't.
Oh, you doing it on the phone? Oh, all right, hold on. Trooper Yaquab, go ahead and pick it up.
I mean, I have another phone. Look it up on. I just don't have the website that. It's up to you.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't want to take too long if you trying to find it. So don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Trooper Yaquab, pick up that other article that I had got to.
Comic-Con.
Yeah. I didn't know you was using your phone for that. So don't sweat it. It ain't no sweat.
Indian Treaties and the Removal Act of 1830. The U.S. government used treaties as one mean to displace Indians from their tribal lands, a mechanism that was strengthened with the Removal Act of 1830. In cases where this failed, the government sometimes violated both treaties and Supreme Court rulings to facilitate the spread of European Americans westward across the continent.
So they're only using these mechanisms, these treaties in this act, so they can break them because they're going to spread them across westward. All right, continue.
Comic-Con. As the 19th century began, land-hungry Americans poured into the backcountry of the coastal South and began moving toward and into what would later become the states of Alabama and Mississippi. Since Indian tribes living there appeared to be the main obstacle to westward expansion, white settlers petitioned the federal government to remove them. Although Presidents Thomas Jefferson and James Monroe argued that the Indian tribes in the Southeast should exchange their land for lands west of the Mississippi River, they did not take steps to make this happen. Indeed, the first major transfer of land occurred only as the result of war.
You see how they went and they delegated to say, "Oh, we need to take these steps so we can exchange their lands for lands west of Mississippi." But they didn't take the steps to make that happen because in their mind, they're going to just conquer. They feel like they are better than you. So since they feel like they're better than you and you were nothing but savages, they're going to use as a result of war, as a result of being savages, they're going to conquer the land. That's how they got the land because they're the real savages. Continue reading.
Con. In 1814, Major General Andrew Jackson led an expedition against the Creek Indians, climaxing in the Battle of Horseshoe Bend in present-day Alabama near the Georgia border, where Jackson's force soundly defeated the Creeks and destroyed their military power. He then forced upon the Indians a treaty whereby they surrendered to the United States over 20 million acres of their traditional land, about 1/2 of present-day Alabama and 1/5 of Georgia. Over the next decade, Jackson led the way in the Indian removal campaign, helping to negotiate 9 of the 11 major treaties to remove Indians.
So see, when they get together, this is why they're a confederate against you, because they want to remove you. All right? It said they made them surrender up to 20 million acres, all right, of traditional land. That is a whole lot. Man, when it comes to those acres, that's a lot of land. And they did this just to destroy the native Indians. Continue reading.
Con. It's like depiction of when it's like under this kind of pressure, Native American tribes, specifically the Creek, Cherokee, and Chickasaw and Choctaw, realized that they could not defeat the Americans in war. The appetite of the settlers for land would not abate, so the Indians adopted a strategy of appeasement. They hoped that if they can give a good deal of their land, they could keep at least some a part of it. The Seminole tribe in Florida resisted
They what?
in the resisted.
See, that's what I was telling y'all earlier. I was telling y'all about the tribe of Reuben, the Seminole Indians. Now, they was warriors. They resisted and they fought and fought and fought. Okay, continue reading.
Con. In the Second Seminole War, 1835 to 1842, and the Third Seminole War, 1855 to 1858. However, neither appeasement nor resistance worked.
Continue reading.
From a legal standpoint, the United States Constitution empowered Congress to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes in early treaties negotiated between the federal government and the Indian tribes. The later, it's like the latter, typically acknowledge themselves to be under the protection of the United States of America and of no other sovereignty whosoever. When Andrew Jackson became president, 1829 to 1837, he decided to build a systematic approach to Indian removal on the basis of these legal precedents. To achieve his purpose, Jackson encouraged Congress to adopt the Removal Act of 1830. The act established a process whereby the president could grant land west of the Mississippi River to Indian tribes that agreed to give up their homelands. As incentives, the law allowed the Indians financial and material assistance to travel to their new locations and start new lives, and guaranteed that the Indians would live on their new property under the protection of the United States government forever. With the act in place, Jackson and his followers were free to persuade, bribe, and threaten tribes into signing removal treaties and leaving the Southeast.
You see, they're supposed to be under their protection, right? If they made these treaties, they would be under protection. All right. But you can never be under the protection of your oppressor. All right. Because it says what? Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, it says to never trust thy enemy. It says, as iron rusted, so does his wickedness. That means it's continuous. All right. Continue reading. We'll probably get that later.
Con. In general terms, Jackson's government succeeded. By the end of his presidency, he had signed into law almost 70 removal treaties, the result of which was to move nearly 50,000 Eastern Indians to Indian Territory, defined as the region belonging to the United States west of the Mississippi River, but excluded the states of Missouri and Iowa as well as the territory of Arkansas, and opened millions of acres of rich land east of the Mississippi white settlers
To who?
to it's like it,
To
east of the
white
Mississippi
settlers, to your
to white
oppressors.
settlers.
Good night. Continue.
Despite the vastness of the Indian territory, the government intended that the Indians' destination would be more confined to will be a more confined area, but later became eastern Oklahoma.
Louis, the Trail of Tears. You see, this is what happens. This is what the oppressor brings. He brings destruction. He brings unaliving to our people, to our ways of life, to our customs. Continue reading.
Khan. The Cherokee Nation resisted, however, challenging in court the Georgia laws that restricted their freedoms on tribal lands. In 1831, ruling the Cherokee Nation versus the state of Georgia, Chief Justice John Marshall declared that Indian Territory is admitted to compose a part of the United States and affirmed that the tribes were domestic, dependent nations, and their regulations to United States resembled
In
that of
relations.
the relations to the United States resembled that of a ward to his guardian. However, for the following year, the Supreme Court reversed itself and ruled that Indian tribes were indeed sovereign and immune from Georgia laws. President Jackson nonetheless refused to heed the court's decision. He obtained the signature of Cherokee chief agreeing that relocation in the Treaty of New Echota,
Yeah, I'll take it. Go ahead.
which Congress ratified against the protest of Daniel Webster and Henry Clay in 1835. The Cherokee Signing Party represented only a faction of the Cherokee, and the majority followed Principal Chief John Ross in a desperate attempt to hold onto their land. This attempt faltered in 1838 when under the guns of federal troops in Georgia state militia, the Cherokee tribe were forced to dry plains across the Mississippi. The best evidence indicates that between 3 and 4,000 of the 15 and 16,000 Cherokees died en route from the brutal conditions of the Trail of Tears.
This is our story when we are by this wicked beast. All right, we can never trust our enemy. We can never allow them to take over our minds again. You know what I mean? They have our minds, and they have us over here celebrating this holiday when it is such um, a destructive holiday. We are destroyed. All right, and because of the lack of knowledge, we are sitting here giving our all to this holiday. We are going out there, we are spending our last, we are using all of our food stamps, so we can supply a meal for this day that is about our destruction and unaliving. Continue reading.
Khan. With the exception of a small number of some Seminoles still resisting removal in Florida, by the 1840s from the Atlantic to to Mississippi, no Indian tribes resided in the American South.
You see, they conquered them so bad that between the Atlantic Ocean and the Mississippi River, there was no Indian tribes that resided in the American South. They overthrew and overtook all of that. Continue.
Khan. Through a combination of coerced treaties and the contravention of treaties and judicial determination, the United States government succeeded in paving the way for westward expansions and the incorporation of new territories as part of the new of the United States.
See, that's all it was about. It was just about expansion, just about going westward. Okay, that's all it was about. Let me get this other scripture. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, this was just about westward expansion getting all the land, deceiving and deception. That's what we call our oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because devil just means what? Deceiver. And the biggest deceiver on this earth is our oppressor. Okay? Let's get Ecclesiasticus 12. And I'm going to just start at 10. You can go ahead and get that, Trooper Uriah. Let me share my screen. You can read it when you got it, Trooper Uriah. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 12, verse 10.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
This says to never trust thine enemy. So is iron rusted, so does his wickedness. You ever see like an old car? It gets a little dot of rust. But over time, that rust grows and it'll overtake everything. It'll overtake all the metal, all the iron. It'll rust the whole thing out. That's how our oppressor is. That's how our enemy is. He is iron rusting. All right? He's going to rust everything till everything is corroded and destroyed. Continue reading.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass. And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
That rust ain't altogether wiped away. Sometimes he cleaned himself up. He might look a little clean. He might look the part, but that rust is right there. All right, it has not been wiped away. And though he goes humble, he's gonna humble himself. He's gonna make it seem like he's your friend. All right, he's gonna go crouching, but you take good heed. You beware of him. Like I told you before, to never trust thine enemy. So you better beware of your enemy. Continue reading.
Verse 12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
You can't set him by you. That's why you're supposed to be above all these nations. You don't want to be by him. Because once he overthrows you, he's going to stand up in your place. Now he's going to be the Jew, not you. Now he's going to be you. He's going to have your customs. He's going to have your records. But you're not. He's going to stand up in your place and call himself you. Continue.
Verse 13.
Oh, no, we still at 12.
Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith.
Yeah, see, he's going to take your seat. He's going to take your ways. He's going to take your customs. Okay? He will become you. And you won't know who you are. You become African American instead of the tribe of Judah. You become a Puerto Rican instead of the tribe of Ephraim. You become a Mexican instead of the tribe of Isupk. Continue reading.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts.
You see, all right. So you see them people who be charming the serpent. They're playing the little flute and they're charming it and they're getting it to dance. Right? That serpent bites them. Who's going to pity them? You out there playing with it, or any such that comes near to a wild beast. You out there playing with lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Whatever happens to you, happens to you. Okay, it's just too damn bad. You know, because you out there playing with nature. You trying to go against the grain. You're playing with things that weren't meant to be for play. Let's get Proverbs 3:31.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1. My son,
31.
not
3 and 31.
Huh?
Chapter 3, verse 31.
Oh, verse 31, Salaki. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
Don't envy your oppressor. Don't look at them and think because they in rulership that they are something special. Don't look at them and think that what they're doing is so damn great or grand, and you just want everything they want. You want to live how they live. It says, "Envy not thou oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Don't choose his ways. Don't choose his customs. Don't choose his philosophies. Don't choose his religion. All right. Don't choose his holidays. Don't choose his Thanksgivings. Okay. Is there any questions?
No, I don't want.
All right. Anything you want to say, Yaganan?
No, I don't want. Scripture was heavy.
I'm right. Because this is what we need this. We need to understand where Thanksgiving comes from. We need to understand what the hell we be celebrating. Because we do it so blindly and we do it so faithfully when we don't have no understanding on what's going on. Somebody give me the security announcements.
Forget.
This is Isupk security announcements. We are the Isupk. Huh?
Go ahead, Yakwa.
We are the Isupk started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are only there to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world, and if they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, my eye shower. 10% of each of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations. We got the feast of dedication, Hanukkah. Right, it's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. Thursday, the 7th of December, 2023, for 8 days. We find this in the Apocrypha in First Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61.
Remind Aki also like if anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, handbands, scarf.
With that, we're going to the Magium. We're going to stand. We're going to Sar, face the east, and get the Lord's Prayer. All right. First in the Hebrew. All right. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Wadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Tabaya, Rakazaka, Haya, Asha, Barakaza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Latam Manawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasamaki Yanawa, Kabawati Yanawa, Kasalaki Yanawa, Kabawati Yanawa, Wala, Tabanawa, Banasawan, Abal, Yahweh Shanawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwa, Wahala, Wahata Para, Mawalaya, Aman. Now in English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the power and the glory forever. So be it. All right. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the teacher. All right. Brother Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak,
Yahabashim Yashabakta.
Yahabashim Yashabrakatum. All right. Yajamatah, we're going to Sarah turn, face the sisters rise. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Yajamatah, class dismissed.